Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. Just put Chad Kelly in the Hall of Fame Perna. And no, nothing's weird with your screen. Today, I'm taking a look at the matchup between the Denver Broncos and Chicago Bears, and I'll break down some of the key things to pay attention to in this football game. Football-savvy fans know preseason football is all about evaluation, and watching these games is much different than a regular season game. The same way getting really stoned and then watching a Bill Belichick interview
about 38 seconds of good football
is somehow more terrifying than watching The Handmaid's Tale. That show is horrifying. That's good sports. I do have a Patreon announcement. At the end of this video, I will announce the jersey winner, the big jersey winner. But first, my new Lisa mattress. My Lisa mattress just arrived, so. No, I'm not excited. It's already the most comfortable mattress I've slept on. I really love its vertical perch sleep feature. Yes, this episode is sponsored by Lisa Mattress, and I have been sleeping on my Lisa mattress now for a few weeks, and I can say, with confidence, it is the most comfortable mattress I have ever owned. Look, one of the reasons I partnered with Lisa, in addition to being a great mattress, is because they are a good company. They donate one mattress to a shelter for every 10 they sell. They've donated 30,000 mattresses so far. You can try the mattress in your home for 100 nights risk-free. They always do free shipping, and if you use my promo code That's Good Sports, you'll get $160 off your mattress. That's Good Sports promo code lisa.com/That's Good Sports. Just That's Good Sports it up with Lisa. All right, heading into this Broncos-Bears game, there are some notable injuries. Shaq Barrett with the hammy, Chris Harris, oblique, Courtland Sutton, knee, Austin Traylor, shoulder, Todd Davis, chest, Troy Fumagalli, hernia, Clinton McDonald, shoulder, Adam Gotsis, ankle, Cravens knee. I don't know who or if any of those guys will play, but the starters are set to get a quarter and a half of time in this game. Now, before we get to talking about Chad Kelly, let's discuss the quarterback who will actually be commanding this team this season. John Teddy Bridgewater. Sorry, I'm getting confused by people screaming on Twitter. It's Case Keenum. He's still the Broncos quarterback, correct?
So what you do is you put your arm around that guy and hug him and tell him he's your quarterback and let him go do his thing.
I mean, in the last week, there has been more talk about Chad Kelly, Colin Kaepernick, and Teddy Bridgewater playing for the Broncos than our actual quarterback, Case Keenum.
To this point,
the easy thing to say here is I want to see Keenum play better than he did during his 6 snaps week 1, and I think he will. What I want to see is him get into a rhythm with the receivers, and I want the offensive line to afford him time to throw the ball with good pass protection. We're in limbo right now. On one hand, those 2 terrible offensive series last week are meaningless, but on the other hand, when Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense just marches down the field and shreds our defense, we start to worry and overreact. I'm officially putting those series in the garbage and moving on because they don't really matter. The reason, though, I think it's important to see Keenum and the offense play well, get into a rhythm, is because during the preseason, the defenses they're going against aren't doing anything crazy. Typically, they keep their formation simple, they're not disguising looks, so the advantage is for the offense, especially with a veteran quarterback like Keenum. So pay attention to what kind of throws he's able to make. I want to see deep balls. I want deep balls and middle of the field balls for him. I'll gladly take deep balls from Keenum this weekend. Keenum, let's go ball. Let's deep ball it. You and me, buddy. We should also be looking to the running game to help set up the throw, to set up the pass. I think Case will impress us if he is in a lot of second and short situations. Royce Freeman, Phillip, Lindsay, they looked good, and they look like the best backs on the team last week, so hopefully we see more of Rolls-Royce Freeman with the ones, and Phillip Lindsay gets a bump and plays against some of the Bears' twos. Not sure if Jeff Hireman's gonna play, but tight end, another spot I'll be watching again. Also, number 83, Matt Lacoste. I want to see if he gets more reps earlier in the game. He made plays last week. And again, Fumagalli out with an injury. So Lacoste could be the sleeper tight end right now. The offensive line did a poor job run blocking early in the first game. Ron Leary didn't play. He won't play against the Bears. So Bowles, Paradis, and Valdir, they only played 6 snaps in the first game. But I will say the unit that was in with Chad Kelly did an excellent job in pass protection. This Saturday night, we'll get our first decent look to gauge where the starting offensive line is as a group. Special teams, Isaiah McKenzie, do exactly what you did last week, and you will have no complaints from me. Defensively, my biggest concern is the linebackers and the run defense and the secondary and anyone not named Von Miller or Darian Stewart who played well, and I don't know if Von will play this week. I'm kidding, of course, but I'm not yet sold that the defense is a better group than it was last season. The Vikings gashed the run defense, and I saw Brandon Marshall out of position as well as Josie Jewell. Denver did sign linebacker A.J. Johnson, who would have been an early round draft pick coming out of Tennessee years ago. However, he has spent the last 3 years trying to clear his name from a very serious legal matter, as every member of the Denver media put it. Which is a bit cowardly, in my opinion. A.J. Johnson was acquitted of a rape case stemming from charges dating back to 2015. The same way the media says Adam Gotsis and his off-field issue also accused of rape while in college. And he had his charges dropped against him this last week. Now, I'm not going to say either of these guys are guilty. I just think it's stupid to sugarcoat what the actual issues are, especially when they are as serious as rape allegations. And I think it's strange that the Broncos would sign a man just acquitted of rape charges while they have a current player under investigation for the same thing. Again, both players went through the legal process, and I suggest you read up on both cases and make a judgment for yourself. But it's been on my mind, so I thought I would at least briefly address it. Moving on, Tremaine Brock should make his debut for the team at corner after nursing a baby and hamstring injury. Multiple skills is why the Broncos signed him. Between Isaiah Yiadom and Brock, I'll be looking for stability in the secondary. I also want to see Bradley Roby play better against the team's number 1 receivers, and it's a little troublesome that Sua Cravens hasn't gotten on the field yet. I'm even more concerned about what impact he will have on this roster after he tweeted this: "God, please give me a sign. I need you more than ever." Look, I don't know what he's going through. I know he's questioned playing football in the past. All I do know, Sua, is if you want to talk to God on Twitter, you have to go through Tim Tebow. There's no way around that, man. The Broncos pass rush was absent last week, and with Von Miller probably not playing, Shaq Barrett being a little bit banged up, Bradley Chubb, Shane Ray, Jeff Holland, please give us some slippery sacks. The kind you only see after a fresh shave in the shower. Chad Kelly is now the deuce on the depth chart. Old news, I know. My prediction, though, is Kelly is actually going to look worse in his second game. I mean, he played pretty well against the Vikings' 3rd and 4th stringers, and we have turned him into the 4th coming of John Elway. The second coming, of course, being quite literal when he married former offensive lineman Paige Green. Sorry, former cheerleader. The third being Peyton Manning, and now the 4th, Swag Kelly. If Swag is as good as we believe he is, he will prove me wrong, play great against the Bears, and I will grovel like the little pissant I am and ask for his forgiveness. However, the expectations are now much higher for him. I want to see how well he handles that. I also think he will be facing tougher competition against the Bears number 2s. The biggest stride he can make this week is to not throw any interceptions. Be smart with the football. He had one poorly timed interception late in the game and nearly threw a pick 6 against Minnesota. He's not scared to sling the ball anywhere on the field because, like Jay Cutler, he trusts his arm, which is a good thing until you start throwing interceptions and your arm becomes your only friend in the NFL. Jay Cutler.
Right here.
I also noticed he has a long throwing motion.
Right here.
I said it looked like he was trying to murder his receivers, but I think the reason I thought that is because his windup is long for an NFL QB. Very Blake Bortlesy or Tim Tebow-y. Kelly somewhere in the middle. Here's the thing, the only way this is an issue is if the ball doesn't get to where it needs to go on time. Phillip Rivers has the worst throwing motion in NFL history, yet he will finish his career as a top 10 all-time passing leader. Here's why I'm excited about Chad Kelly. He showed us more in one game than Lynch has in 2 seasons. In fact, thanks to this graph by Joe Mahoney from Mile High Report, you can see just how much Paxton Lynch has not improved from one preseason to the next. The easiest time for a quarterback to look good is in the preseason. I heard Joe Thomas today say that he remembers Brady Quinn looking great because the defense was literally playing cover 2 every single snap. Last week was Swag's first real reps in the NFL. Yes, there are areas to improve. Decision-making, footwork, general big dick playerness, but the shit you can't teach, arm strength, ball placement, confidence, algebra, they're all there for him. His 2 best throws were not touchdowns, they were these tight window throws in the middle of the field. The hardest place to throw in the NFL is not the team bus, it's the middle of the field. Kelly is miles ahead of Lynch, and now it's time to see how hard he pushes himself to get better. The only thing I want to see is how well he handles pressure. What would you know about pressure? Ace Ventura. He had great pass protection Saturday night, as I mentioned. A true sign of a good QB is one who performs just as well, if not better, under duress. Last season, in order, Phillip Rivers completed 104 passes under pressure, and second most was Case Keenum completing 99 passes under pressure. Pressure means these guys also probably got hit as they threw the ball. Last week, Kelly, in 25 dropbacks, only had 7 pressures. In fairness to Paxton Lynch, in 13 dropbacks, he had 6. So he was dealing with more pressure more frequently. All we need to know now is how good is Chad Kelly in the pressure cooker. Pressure, 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 pressure. And that leads me to my big dick Patreon shoutouts and jersey announcement. First, the shoutouts. Artin, Azimi, Yo Boy Broncos, Brian Johnson, John Evans, Michael O'Ryan, Jeff Close, Daniel T, Brandon McCain, Nick Stratton, Mr. Nick upping his donation. And now, yes, my jersey giveaway. 113 of you commented on the Patreon post to win the jersey, which is awesome. And from those comments, one random name was pulled. And that name is CJ Almiral, a supporter of this channel for almost a full year now on Patreon. Congrats, CJ. I will send you a message and get you your jersey shipped right away. Don't worry, I'll do another cool giveaway next month for my patrons. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please, if you haven't, subscribe here. Our podcast goes up every Thursday. It's with Will Keys. It's on the That's Good Broncos channel or on iTunes, Podbean. Guess what it's called? That's Good Sports Podcast. And Case Keenum, don't forget he's your quarterback.